Boom shakalaka. Well, it happened for Bitcoin. The big question is how much longer and how much worse. That's what she said. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, my worst introduction ever. And it finally happened for Bitcoin, $70,000. Since Arthur Hayes mentioned it like a month ago, Bitcoin hit it. How much worse can it get from here, and how much longer until things recover, if they ever do? Before we get into it, like the video, join us on Twitter with your Crypto Love, and of course subscribe to the OG Bitcoin Crypto YouTube channel, making daily videos longer than anybody else. Now today, fear and greed at 24, still in extreme fear. If you look back, Bitcoin has not been in extreme fear, except towards market bottoms, pretty much. Now, the overall market down 4% today. Right now, Bitcoin bounces back a little bit, 81,529, Ethereum 1921, XRP 213, BNB 563, Solana 124, Cardano 73 cents, Dogecoin 16 cents, and Tron 23 cents. And Bitcoin following perfectly the double top from the last cycle when we got wicked off. Well, if we just match that to what happened here, and this is something we've had on the chart for weeks now at this point, one of the possible scenarios, Bitcoin is following it almost perfectly. This has it actually going down towards $69,000 by mid-April. Go 69,000. But could price recover? And if, when? If yes, when? Well, let's take a look. Starting to get the feeling that we didn't really get a cycle this time. I mean, it didn't even get frothy at all. And it could be because we've only just started the one we have in mind. As a matter of fact, this could have been a bottoming signal. I believe this is the global business cycle right here, but this generally leads to massive gains for Bitcoin. May just be very early. The cycle hasn't even started. And with price dipping, I mean, buy the dip, right? Unless you're like one of the typical traders who buys the top and sells the bottom, now would be the time to sell. But if you want to be a contrarian trader, you could buy the bottom. And it's kind of like this thing right here, the eternal struggle of being a permeable. Buy the dip with what? Sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. Yeah, exactly. How can you keep buying the dip? Because it just keeps on dipping and dipping and dipping and dipping and dipping. And so eventually, sometimes you just don't sell and you just wait. That's essentially once you buy everything. Now, just recently, Bitcoin has gotten rejected by the short-term holder cost basis. Could this be very bad for Bitcoin? Well, it was rejected right here, and then price went down to the bottom, and then went up a lot from there, from $50,000 to $100,000. And it was rejected right here, and then right there was the bottom, and then price went up from $25,000 to $70,000. So maybe these rejections of the short-term cost basis just precede a bottom, and then things take off once again, especially if you believe we haven't reached a cycle top. As of right now, the Bitcoin hash ribbons has just entered capitulation mode. Boy, does it start to feel like it. Once it ends, a buy signal is likely. Now, if we take a look, capitulation mode, the bottom. Capitulation mode, the bottom. Capitulation mode, the bottom. Capitulation mode, the bottom. So, could it be another bottom? Could be. Might go down further, but it could be pretty darn close to a bottom. Usually, Bitcoin forms major bottoms around the 3-day EMA 100. If we take a look, that's exactly where it just tapped mid 70,000. This happened in 2023, 2024, and maybe once again, but time will tell. Now, if this doesn't hold, based on the Bitcoin Mayor multiple trading below the 200-day moving average, the next key support level sits at $66,000. So if it does go down, could be going down a bit further. And if it does, yikes, that's pretty close to the $69,000 price prediction we have right there. And if we had the volume profile turned on, you could also see that there is a lot of volume when you zoom out at those levels right there. Once it catches up, there we go. There's the volume. Now, onward and upward. If we take a look, Bitcoin can be kind of simple when it comes to trading it. There's not really much you need to know to become wealthy. And clearly, it would not be buying the top and selling the bottom. But all it takes are two moving averages, the 200-day SMA and the 200-week SMA. Now, the 200-day SMA, this yellow line, which we're dipping below right now, is for moderate buying dips and corrections during bull markets. You could see, had you have bought during these periods, you've done pretty well. The red line, the 200-week SMA, is for strong buys and usually marks the bear market bottom. However, it's very hard to buy at these times, because at these times, everyone's screaming the sky is falling. And at these times, everyone's screaming Bitcoin's going to zero. Don't buy it. Don't even buy it with someone else's money. I wouldn't even touch that with someone else's you know what. So, all of those things being said, it does appear like it could be a moderate to good opportunity to buy. As of right now, the CME gap from last November between $77,000 and $80,000 has finally been filled. Thank goodness. One more gap remains between $84,000 and $86,000, and that one is upwards. Could push the price up to fill that gap. We are taking a look. Very often, people are comparing Bitcoin to M2 money right now, and it seems like Bitcoin follows a 70-day lag. Now, if this correction holds, Bitcoin would be trading at much higher levels by May, so it may just be a little bit of patience. We may be hitting maybe this target by mid-April, and then a nice short squeeze for new highs in May. Now, should things take off, Doge seems to be lined up for a massive bull run. If you can see this, nice little fractal playing out right here. Now, this is a big if, but my goodness, wouldn't that send things crazy? Once all of the longs have been liquidated and all of the leverage traders have lost all their money and all the meme boys have just sold everything at the bottom, wouldn't that be crazy if Dogecoin took off? Because you have to remember, the Pi cycle top is nowhere near across. As a matter of fact, the moving averages are 56% apart, which is further than any other time after new all-time highs. You can see back here was 22, 46, 46. This is 56%. What does this mean? Well, it would take a huge move to the upside to produce a cross here. So, while some people are doubtful, it would be a complete miss on this indicator, which has been the most accurate indicator ever for Bitcoin. So, you'll kind of have to see if that's wrong or if everything else is wrong, because hey, Bitcoin still seems to be the best investment ever. Property priced in Bitcoin. You can see it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Save in Bitcoin, life gets cheaper. Whatever you do, sell a kidney if you must. You have 2 of them, but keep the Bitcoin. That's all for this episode. If you enjoyed it, there's a playlist with your name right up there. I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
Boom, shakalaka.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.